With us, Mayor and Council. Today's date is January 11, 2017. Have a roll call.
Mayor Kranjak,
Here.
Councilperson Zaversa,
Here.
E. Park, here. Code, McMorrow, here. M. Park,
Here.
Wu,
Here.
Borough Attorney,
Present.
and Park, World Present.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you... Yes, it's a Councilwoman now. Okay. Madam Clerk, would you please read the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Adequate notice of this meeting was given to the press and posted as required. Date and time of this meeting was legally given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. This notice is on file with the municipal clerk and posted on the bulletin board. Minutes of this meeting will be made available to the public upon the completion of typing and proofreading by the municipal clerk.
Thank you very much. Should we do the public portion now, or should we go...
No, we should go into closed
Okay.
session.
Have a motion to go into closed session because we have guests here tonight that need to get moving.
Ed moved it, second.
All in favor?
Mayor, now you...
Yes.
You made the motion?
I did, yeah, I got my email.
Ed, Councilman Aversa.
Okay. Resolution 1726, closed session, whereas NJSA 10:4-12 allows for a public body to go into closed session during a public meeting, and whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs has deemed it necessary to go into closed session to discuss certain matters which are exempted from the public. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs will go into closed session for the following reason as outlined in NJSA 10:4-12, personnel.
Thank you. Have a motion to come out of closed session.
So moved.
Have a motion to go
Who's second? Is that Carol?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a motion, the public portion is open.
So moved.
Second?
If there's anyone from the public that wishes to be heard, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address. Yes.
Just real quick, well, maybe not so quick. What? No, okay. What needs that? What needs the honor? Sorry, today.
Not working.
Well, I have kind of fast throat, but I'll try to be loud, if that's all right with everybody. Just quickly, Board of
Name and address, please.
Glenn Luciano, 20 Laurie Drive, Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey. Want me to hold it? Yeah. What's my line, or whatever that game was that I got? Oh, link letter, whatever. Can you hear it? Okay. Bought a piece of property on Pershing. House was dilapidated. Town asked us to take the house down. Took the house down. Some confusion about inspection. Paid for a year for taxes that we probably shouldn't have. Water all under the bridge. But towards the end of the process, we were charged $2,000 for sewer connection, or sewer demolition. I went to the building department. I asked about the demolition. She handed me a packet that really, I would say, has to do with when you're building a new home. I mean, it kind of combines everything together. But it says, and I'm sorry I don't have my glasses, but this is 11-1.11, Section 4. If the use of said property is for residential use, the owner shall pay a sewer fee charge of $2,000 in regard to all new construction. I don't have any new construction. I didn't even take a building permit, actually. I took a demolition permit. A replacement construction. We didn't replace anything. We didn't renovate anything, because it goes on to say renovation or addition where the building fee permit is based on a value in excess of $25,000. So what was told from upstairs today is, well, the building permit was greater than $25,000. But in reading the ordinance, and clearly in other sections, you have clearly areas that talk about demolition permit, which is 9-20.1, which is, to me, different than a building permit.
Did you take a building permit out?
No, demolition permit.
Demolition, right, yeah.
So I'm kind of confused, and I understand the ideology of it for someone putting in, and one step further. If I'm ripping down a house, majority of the people probably are building a new house, and that's what messed me up before, because the building inspector didn't come and inspect, even though there was a pool that you asked us to take out and rip down the house because it was rat infested, which we did, and we filled in the pool, but the building inspector didn't do his job and inspect. He didn't, because he said we don't inspect until you build a new house, but we weren't building a new house. We didn't even build a building permit. So, one step further, if I sold the house to Senny, wherever the heck he is, and he's going to build a new house there, you're going to charge him $2,000 to connect the new sewer connection? Because now you collected $2,000 from me and $2,000 from him.
I'm lost why they took it.
I'm lost too. But from what the building department said, and with all due respect, is that this is what they do for everyone. And I'm telling you, in my opinion, I'm not an attorney, but in my opinion, reading the ordinance, it's wrong. And I'm due $2,000 back.
You will look into that.
Look at it,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
So you paid it, sir?
Oh, it's been paid. And now I'm just trying to get it back, because I actually thought it was a bond. You know, I just thought it was a fee to inspect the cap. But like I said, if someone, like my neighbor right now is ripping down a house, and you're charging him to demolish $2,000, and then when he pulls the building permit, $2,000 more? It seems like something's not right.
Okay, we just found out about your issue.
No,
We'll ask the attorney to look at it.
absolutely. While the attorney, I'm tired of holding this down.
Can I call you as an answer?
Absolutely, sure. Actually, yes, you can, but I hope you call me with a $2,000 check. Yeah, look, well, that's what I was gonna say,
Good
with
answer.
that little joke. I forget what I was gonna say.
Did you want to talk about the Verizon?
Well, the Verizon, we all know about that. I mean, I sent everybody an email. I hope someone's email didn't work, but I advised the town. I did, the email that's on the link for the town doesn't work for you, but I think I CC'd everybody.
I responded.
Yes, you did. Mayor responded. In Woodland Park, you know, we have a crappy service with Time Warner Cable. I brought the issue up probably 14 months ago. Woodland Park just went out and did a resolution, won't cost you anything, to ask FiOS to put pressure on FiOS, CEO, FiOS, Board of Public Utilities, their elected officials at the state and the county level, to ask that FiOS extend into the town. And I would do the same thing with Cablevision. Time Warner's horrible. When I was here 14 months ago, it said, it comes up on the TV, please wait. Please wait. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I hope I'm waiting to not have to pay my bill, but they always get the bill. But I think we really do need, it has gotten better, I agree with you, Mayor, it did get better a little bit. But I think that for the demographics that we have in this town, I don't understand how a company wouldn't want to come here. I know what I pay a month, and it's thousands of dollars a year. I don't know why they wouldn't want to, and if it just takes a resolution, please do that.
That was one of the first things I did as mayor, is have a meeting with them and inquire, and they told us that our population did not make it cost effective for them.
I'm
We
sure.
want them.
I'm sure, we do, but like I said, and if it's just something as simple as, you know what, contacting our senator, contacting our legislator, and doing a resolution, it costs nothing. I can't see why everybody wouldn't support it.
As it becomes more commoditized, their costs will come down.
Sure.
If I want to do it.
Absolutely, and with Spectrum, maybe it'll get better too, but I still don't like the fact, everywhere else you have Cablevision, FiOS, you know, there's always, you know, a couple companies, but I know what the other thing I want to talk about, well, and it's really towards openness, budget process. I came to the, and we're going to get into that soon, I would imagine. I came to the budget meeting last year, and you had a document that you passed out on the tables to everybody, and it was a document, no writing on it, And I believe it had like last year's actual, this year's budget, where we spent so far this year, and what departments are asking for. It sat on the table, and none of us in the audience could see it. And I'm going to request, because I've never, and I was an elected official for 10 years, ever experienced this in my life, that when I requested this through Oprah, I was told that it was a deliberative object. And you probably do have certain support with the board, with the government's record council, but that's only if someone's writing on it. Yeah, I understand, but for years and years, there's no more transparency in government, in my opinion, than the budget process. And I don't understand how last year's actual, June's actual, this year, and what the departments are requesting to sit in a meeting and be online with all of you to say, let's follow line by line. We couldn't, I haven't been here that long, forgive me. I understand in the past that people have told me, they used to be able to look at it in the meeting and then make them head, but I think personally, this is a policy decision.
I made a note of what you said last year. I think it was Saturday morning.
Yes, sir.
You attended, and
Yes, sir.
it was very cold out. We were all there.
Yeah.
And at the end, you did say that. And for this year, we need to look at as much.
But once again, with all due respect, Mayor, I got the Oprah request denied because it was termed deliberative. Every single budget cycle that I've been through, we gave out those papers and let them take. They don't have to write it down. And I understand the legal opinion, but this is to me, it's a policy decision.
Well, can the borough, can you respond to him?
Well,
Or do you-
I'm going to give the response. You saw me shaking my head.
Oh, sure. I know the government record
And
council
for the
responds.
audience, my name is Anne Marie Rizzuto. I'm an attorney with Fred Semrau's office. Pleased to meet everyone. So,
And happy New Year.
in general,
Yes.
pre-adoption budget documents are not releasable under Oprah and are in fact protected deliberative materials. Towns don't usually release them. They are working documents. It doesn't have to be written on. They are working documents. The requirement under law is to post the proposed adopted budget that's put forth in the public hearing. So that's what you will see posted when someone posts, if you guys post it on your website, which you should. And you should be able to have links on the website that show you last year's budget and a proposed budget. But that does not happen in work meetings. The release of the documents is when you get to the final stages where there are actual public hearings, which are two.
I'm well
And
aware.
I hear what you're
I'm
saying.
well aware of the.
And the mayor is telling me to go ahead and take a look at it. And I need to dig a little deeper into what the procedures are here before we can really pinpoint
I have
at what point should we be releasing to.
I'm
It may
going
be
to give
early.
you the name Jack Deneen. He was our borough attorney in Harrington Park. Done it for many, many years as a fellow, municipal fellow in law. If you speak
know
to
the
him,
name.
Jack, John is really what we call him, Jack.
Right.
I understand the process, and I totally agree with you 100%, but that's because the law says you can only publish the final budget documentation. That has nothing to do with sitting here and saying, you know what, this week, DPW requested, and you know what we used to do? And I haven't seen your document, line by line, every single line. Here's what they requested. Now, we sit in the meeting and we'd know what they requested and they would change it, and we'd all change it together. And you know what you say at the meeting? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a budget work session, it's not the final budget. And we can hand it, that's a policy decision. We don't have to go to the lawyer, because the lawyer is going to tell you, with all due respect, is going to tell you, you don't have to do that, and it is protected by the Records Council. But it is very disheartening, as a taxpayer and a citizen, to come to a meeting where you're talking about the budget, and you can't even view it. Now, if I opened last year's budget, you'd have to give it to me. if I overed what June's actual expenses were, you'd have to give it to me. The only thing that might not be there is their request per se. But even if you gave that out, I'd be able to follow line by line when we're talking at the table. So if that's the only deliberative item in there that per legalese, then take it out. But I'd like to see a document that gives me everything.
I have a suggestion, and maybe the board could answer me. If your concern is being able to follow the budget, maybe we could have a projection or, some sort of like a screen in the meeting room where the residents can see the numbers, and, we may not be able to give you a hard copy, but you'll be able to follow.
That's better than telling your residents, I can't get it, and it's protected by the government records
So
council.
on the record for me to say this is that basically I want maximum visibility to the public.
So I'll do a little bit of research and talk with your CFO and see what your document process is. Okay?
Thank you, and congratulations to everyone who's here. I wish you all the best of luck. Try not to be too mean to each other. Let's all just get along.
Thank you, Mr. Luciano.
You guys have a good one. Happy New Year.
Okay. Is there anyone else from the public that wishes to be here? Yes.
Good evening, everybody. This microphone? This microphone. Okay, great. Or this one? Okay. All right. Couple of questions about David D. Gregorio,
Thank you.
165. That's D.I. You're very good. You got the I. 165 Charlotte Place. Pershing. There is a speed sign that lights up when you're going so fast. So what I'd like to find out is the procedure, and when did the sign go up, and who makes the decision as to where those signs are placed?
I think I know that the police department.
Police department.
My understanding is the police
Okay.
department.
That's good.
There were some residents there that had,
Complained?
yeah.
Okay.
The police department made that.
All right. Very good. I think it's an excellent sign.
Yeah,
I
there's
certainly
another one. I saw another part of town.
slows me down very nicely. And so I appreciate that it's been put up. I hope that we can put up some more. The other concern, where are we with the $30,000 spent on the field? Is that, or the,
On my list, I'm gonna be sending...
Talking about it?
No, I'm gonna send an email to
Okay.
Andy Hippolyte.
and what firm did we use? What firm?
We use the,
Okay. Because I know the Board of Education just spent $15,000,
Yeah.
and they are using a different firm, so, no, they're not. DeCaro and Rubina, I think it is. Next, read in the paper about resumes and about advertising for positions. Why are these resumes going to one particular person on the council and not all the council? I don't know, maybe you can clarify which position you're hiring for?
sure, what happened was
Administrator, that's right.
the ordinance had been changed in December to separate the position of borough administrator and borough clerk.
Okay, is there any reason for that, or,
Well, it's really two full-time jobs.
okay.
Two people.
How have you
So
managed?
to answer your question from earlier,
We don't have, it's a two-person job.
two-person job.
Well, can I ask a little history? How?
Let me finish your-
Yeah, go ahead.
You asked a question, I want to answer it. The reason why the resumes are going to a contact person to receive them is because as an applicant, you don't want to have to send it to 6 people plus me plus the administrator.
Right.
or clerk. So that person is the point person and distributes it to everyone.
Okay. Usually there's a personnel department. Do we have a personnel
We have a
department?
personnel committee now.
Committee, okay.
Committee.
All right. Okay, now, a little history. Why are we,
Waiting for them.
yeah, sure. Oh, okay.
Let me ask the question, and then try to give them a full answer, if you don't.
I appreciate it. If you, go ahead.
Right, okay.
Thank you, though.
I know there was, Councilwoman Park was very quick to be very vocal in the newspaper about this subject.
Mm-hmm.
She's on the Personnel Committee,
Mhm.
And when all of the resumes and the cutoff date, and I'm waiting for Lizette to tell me what date did we put as an end date on?
January 20th.
Okay. As soon as that ends,
Yes,
I'm going to print everything out.
okay,
I'm going to call a meeting of the Personnel Committee,
right,
everything,
right,
and we're going to look at them at Borough Hall.
okay,
This process was advised by the borough attorney.
okay,
They'll be numbered. The
okay.
resumes will stay at Borough Hall.
All right, so they're going to be paper resumes sent in. It's not going to be emails, it's paper.
Some people, I
So,
believe, sent paper,
okay,
marked it confidential.
right,
We don't have an office at Borough Hall, only
Okay.
an office.
all right, so
Because of it being confidential, we did it two ways because, in case
I'd like to know a little history about the position. How was it handled formally? And in the years past, you had, how, those positions were combined, or what was going on with that exactly?
So the ordinance in the past read that the position should be filled by one person.
Okay,
It shall be filled by one person. And that stopped making sense when there was an avalanche of Oprah requests made on the office of clerk.
mm-hmm,
Clerk was having to be here till 9 or 10 o'clock at night, dealing with the public Oprah requests.
Right.
other
So what we did was we changed the ordinance to say the position may be filled by one person, but not necessarily.
Okay.
So under our circumstances right now, we need two
keep
people,
hitting your start.
two people. So you're advertising for what? For
administrator.
an administrator? And what would the salary be for the administrator?
Attorney General.
Nothing, okay. It would seem to me that, I mean, from a management point of view, an administrator is a title, and it would seem to me that, well, I know in Tenafly and in other boroughs, they pay administrators quite a lot of money, 100,000, 120,000, sometimes 150,000. If you, and correct me if I'm wrong, the reason why you're hiring is because of an increased amount of Oprah
No,
requests?
that's not
Just one of them.
One of the reasons.
only one of them.
I mean, it would seem to me, no, excuse me one second.
You asked us
Well,
you only allowed-
but I'm just saying, well, I'm saying my opinion now. If I were running a company or a town or an organization, and I saw a workload, I would probably try to support that workload by hiring an additional secretary or clerical person that could assist, because you could do that a lot cheaper. So, that's my opinion, and,
There are
and,
many other aspects
okay.
that are needed to be taken care of. And the committee will report after they view everything.
All right. Next, on my list, I was, very interested in the purpose of the removal of the name on the administrative building, and what was thought would be accomplished by that. What was the purpose? What was your purpose in removing those letters, that name, on that building?
Please don't ask that to the council, because the council had no information.
Okay, I'll direct my question to the mayor.
It's a very simple answer. The approval was never given to put the name up in the first place. And we are a borough of laws, and we have to follow the rule of law.
Right. But your purpose, it costs money to take the sign down, I would imagine, right? So, who made the decision to take it down? The mayor?
I made a decision.
Okay. So what was your purpose in that decision?
I live in Englewood Cliffs. That's
Right.
the name of my town. That's the name of your town.
Right?
Very simple. It's not anybody's individual name. Our borough hall is our borough hall. It's a public asset. You own it, everyone in this room owns it.
Okay.
No one in this room has a right to put their name on anything.
So that was your purpose? Okay.
Unless you get approval.
Right.
Approval. And approval is this governing body right here.
Okay. What do you think it would have accomplished, your taking it down? Did it accomplish anything?
Well, from day one, if you're listening, I've always said, I want to take the politics out of the workplace, and I want to adhere to the rule of law. Okay?
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing.
Did it improve your relationship with your opponents, or did it hurt your relationship with your opponents?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay, what do you think it would have,
Well, sir, I'll tell you something. The rule of law has no feelings, okay?
Okay.
You're expressing your feelings, as are the people
Oh.
behind you. And your feelings are not rooted in the facts. The fact is, we have laws, you have to adhere to them.
you've alluded to the feelings fact.
That's right.
Leader,
I have no feelings.
exactly, but leaders have feelings and logic also.
Leaders lead, okay?
Yes.
We don't want divisive names on property.
Leaders reach out. Leaders are consensus builders. I think, yes.
I think the issue is not...
Oh, don't you start, huh? Oh, you just start.
I'm speaking.
No, you are, I'm talking to her, she's
So,
always
I
negative.
think the issue for me, anyway, with the signage, is not necessarily the sign as it stood. It's the fact that someone had the audacity to do it without the consent of this council. And I
Right.
think that, to me, is what is the most disrespectful thing, is that no one came to this council that I'm aware of, because I have no idea,
Right.
to even discuss it and say, this is my opinion, I don't like the sign, I don't think it should be this. Mayor, that's your opinion, and it's great.
Right.
But it would have been nice to have discussed it with the entire council, because it is an entire council decision.
No.
Two wrongs don't make a right. If there's wrong going up,
Well,
it should be corrected.
I think
It's wrong going up in the first place.
I think that the mayor is, showing his leadership.
Never approved.
Who needs,
But who-
Well, why don't I put 5,000 names on the building, okay?
who approved it?
If this council approves it, then it would be fine.
Who approved all these other names? Did you look into it?
Exactly, governing body approved it.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I didn't look at them all, but Borough Hall was not approved.
Okay, next,
What authority
Take it
do you
down.
have
That's
to
the part I'm
tell you to allow
What
her?
authority does somebody have to put it up in the first place? Okay, if you want to talk about putting it up, then we'll talk about putting it up. But don't talk to me about taking it down.
I have a question to the borough attorney then. Does he have the authority to unilaterally tell somebody to take that down?
He has the executive authority to do that.
And that's one of the...
my next question,
So what are we doing here then, Councilor? What are we doing here?
No. He is the chief executive officer of the borough.
Oh, geez, I've heard Joe Parisi say that almost at every meeting. How many people are there?
What I said was, he had the executive
Seriously.
authority to do it
Unbelievable.
without council approval. It wasn't approved in the first place, and that made it suspect.
Under an ordinance, under a statute, under what authority?
Well, I have not looked at the statutes, but I've never seen a borough hall named after an individual. And I've been around the state, and in a lot of municipalities. Excuse me, I see community centers that might be named for a citizen or whatever. I've seen plaques on walls, I've seen the state sell the name of the Garden State Art Center, and now it's GNC Art Center, but when I was growing up, it was Garden State Art Center. So they get money for doing that,
To me,
right?
it's not the name, Councilor.
Well, I
It's the
understand.
process of at least discussing it with this council before something like that is done. Whether the council decides it or not, it's not about the name. Please take that out. I could care less.
Mr. Mayor,
And I heard you, and
Okay.
obviously you've made your point, but I can't say to you, you're correct or you're not correct. He has the executive authority to do that.
Mr. Mayor, what did you think it would accomplish by taking,
We've
No,
asked that, and
okay.
generally, we try to keep comments to 3 minutes.
Okay,
We're up to
well-
about 20.
well, no, the other person was up here quite a bit. All right, I realize that. Last question, okay, I'll shorten it up,
I'm
okay.
not answering questions.
Okay, well, you don't have to answer questions because your actions speak for themselves. Now, who physically took that sign down? Was Carol holding the ladder, and were you up there? Or, I don't know. But, no, I'm serious. I'd like to know the answer. Who took the sign down? Who took the sign down? No, I would like to know, because you're talking about money.
No, good.
You're talking about money. You're talking about somebody who was told in buildings and grounds or somewhere to get on a ladder and take the sign down. That's the taxpayers' money, Mr. Mayor.
Right, and who bought the letters? of taxpayer money,
Good.
right? Who did that?
Two wrongs then don't make a right. Okay?
Yeah. How about, are you finished? Because there's other
We have
people
a,
here.
we have an 8 o'clock meeting.
I'd like an answer from you.
All right,
Who took the sign down? Name.
excuse me.
I have no idea what this is.
Sir, with all due respect, the crowd is jumping in on
Okay.
you, the mayor and
Good.
council are
Yeah.
discussing.
Very
We
good.
don't have to answer your
Okay.
questions, and it's time to move on. So-
Okay, last comment, and it's a comment, not a question. I think actions, it's such a shame, because I had high hopes when you were elected. I thought that you would reach across the aisle and not make incendiary decisions, and you have not stopped doing
I
that.
think you need to check your facts.
Well, my facts,
Thank you for coming.
thank you for everyone for listening. I appreciate it.
We need to start our regular meeting. The Gregorian time is,
Thank you.
thank you. We have a motion to close the
So
public
moved.
portion.
Second,
Okay,
We're still on the caucus agenda?
we're going to office agenda.
move to the regular meeting.
Yeah. All right, have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thanks.
I need 5 minutes notice for the restaurant.
I'm holding the ladder. I'm holding the ladder.
So bring the chair back.